What's going on, YouTube? We got something different. Top 10 lost invention scientists today can't recreate. I see all of this other shit that they be uploading. This shit look a little scary, and I don't even like to watch scary shit. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't like to watch scary shit, but we gonna watch it today. We gonna learn. That's what we gonna do. It's class with J10. Everybody finna go back to school and shit. I ain't got school. I ain't gonna say fuck school, because you need to get your education. After you graduate high school, do what you want with your life, you feel me? But I ain't gotta go back to school, you feel me? So we finna learn.
A strange heat-resistant material created by a British hairdresser could survive blasts that would melt steel, but its formula vanished when he died. Ancient swords that could slice through metal like it was paper were made with a secret steel recipe lost to time.
If you forgot your notes, or if you don't got no pencil, no paper, you don't need none. Sit back, relax, watch, take in the information.
These are lost inventions scientists today can't recreate. Starlight was this weird, almost unbelievable material created by a British hairdresser named Maurice Ward during the 70s and 80s.
I got it in 1080p, I
come up with a substance that could supposedly handle insane amounts of heat. Heat that would melt metal, vaporize plastic, and kill you instantly. But this Starlight material would hold up against it. This clip here is from BBC's Tomorrow's World, which aired in 1990. Here they blowtorch an egg coated in the material, and when they crack it open, the egg inside is still raw. Okay. This segment introduced a lot of people to this new form of plastic, which could supposedly withstand nuclear-level heat and space re-entry temperatures.
Okay, what they saying is Starlight, Mr. Starlight, he created something that can withstand any kind of heat. Like if I was to put it on my body, I'd burn myself. I could take off the coat or whatever is on, and I'd be fine. You feel me? Still be able to fuck these hoes. That's what he's saying.
NASA and Boeing were interested. Even weapons labs wanted it. But Ward was paranoid about getting ripped off, so he never let anyone keep a sample. He let them test it, sure, but he kept the formula a secret. Supposedly, like only a couple people in his family ever knew it.
Yeah,
we still don't really know
the Krabby
what
Patty, but you don't get the
Oddly,
formula.
One of his daughters claimed, though, that it was safe enough to eat and that they'd fed it to dogs and horses. I wonder how they found that out.
Well, damn, there is a Krabby Patty.
Unfortunately, Maurice Ward died in 2011, so we may never know how this stuff was made. There was once a sword so sharp and strong it became legendary across the ancient world. They were called Damascus blades. These blades were incredible. They could slice through metal, and not only that, they were also gorgeous, with these swirling, water-like patterns in them. But by the 18th century, production just stopped. We have examples of these swords, but no one today can completely recreate the process. Blacksmiths and scientists have tried, and yeah, you can get close, but something's just missing. The steel actually came from India.
No, it came from where?
India and Sri Lanka.
India, Sri Lanka. I've heard of Sri Lanka. I've heard of India too, but Sri Lanka, that don't sound like some shit that you would hear of. I've heard of that, but it gotta be like, the sword gotta be somewhere hidden. I'ma find that bitch. That's what I gotta do. Yeah, I gotta travel the world, find the
blacksmiths made something called Wootz steel. They melted iron in small sealed containers with special plant materials and let it cool super slowly. That slow cooling created tiny particles of carbon inside the metal. Some scientists think those particles formed little tube-like structures, basically carbon that organized itself in a way that made the steel way stronger than normal. The knowledge just kind of disappeared. Maybe the specific ore they used ran out, maybe the trade routes that delivered the right ingredients got cut off, but whatever happened, by the 1700s, it was gone. You can technically buy Damascus blades today, but they're not genuine Damascus steel.
I'm gonna find that bitch. Don't even trip, I got it.
And they probably find that bitch. We all know the Pantheon and
H. Y'all think that bitch can, like, let's say I'm getting a gunfight, but I got a sword, right? Let's say I'm in the army, right? They shoot me. I blocked the bullet with the sword. Y'all think that bitch gonna go through the sword and hit my ass like on some real life shit? Or like, is the sword really that powerful? Because they said the sword go through anything. So I'm thinking, if I get shot and I just hold the sword, you can't hit me. You Feel me? My sword too. My
Bridges
sword,
have
one of
stood
those.
for over 2,000 years.
I gotta
Most
give me one.
modern concrete can fall apart in about 50 to 100 years, especially in harsher conditions, but clearly not ancient Roman concrete.
Right.
Well, there's a trick. Romans mixed
Tesla's lost
volcanic
invention.
ash
Bro,
called
get the fuck out my
pozzolana
face.
with
Fuck out of here, bro. Get on my face, bro.
quicklime and heated it before adding water. This creates bits of lime clasts, which are hard lumps that aren't normally in modern concrete. When cracks formed and water seeped in, those lime clasts dissolved a bit and sealed the crack by growing calcite crystals back in place. So basically it almost glues itself back together. Scientists from MIT tested this. They made the Roman mix, broke it, soaked it in water, and the cracks healed up in weeks.
So what you saying is the rock can, boom, let's say I punch the rock. I create a crack in the rock. All they gotta do is heat it up and it's gonna damn near dissolve and put itself back to, okay, type shit.
Modern concrete just
That's Roman
crumbles
concrete?
apart. If you ever found yourself on fire back in ancient Greece, you always knew there was plenty of water to hop into. But there's one instance where not even water would save you. Greek fire. This was the Byzantine Empire's knew there was plenty of water to hop into. Self on fire back in ancient Greece, you always crumbles apart.
They used to
if
like
you ever found yourself on fire back in ancient Greece, you always knew there was plenty of water to hop into. But there's one instance where not even water would save you. Greek fire. This was the Byzantine Empire's secret weapon. It was terrifying because it could burn on water. Perfect for naval battles, which there were a lot of. There's also evidence they had pressurized devices on ships that acted like early flamethrowers. The fire would shoot out in a stream. Not only would it continue to burn on water, but it also stuck to stuff. We still don't know exactly what it was made of. The exact formula seemed to be a secret. Probably only a handful of people knew it, and it was never written down in full. If it was, we have no record of it anyway. Historians think it was some kind of mix involving crude oil plus additives like sulfur, pitch, or quicklime. A few modern attempts have come close, but none can fully match what Greek fire supposedly did. In 132 CE, a Chinese inventor named Zhang Heng built something that could detect earthquakes long before anyone could feel them. It was called a seismoscope, and it worked so well that when one of its indicators went off, people thought it had malfunctioned until a messenger showed up days later, confirming a quake had hit far away. This was basically a big bronze vessel surrounded by 8 dragon heads, each holding a metal ball. Below each one was a toad with its mouth open. When a distant earthquake hit, one of the balls would drop, pointing to the direction the quake came from. Nobody really knows how it worked. Some scientists think there was a pendulum inside that shook when the ground moved and somehow set off the ball drop, but nobody really knows for sure. The original device is long gone, and there's no blueprint or clear instructions on how it was built. People have tried to rebuild it using different mechanisms. Some get the ball drop system to work, but none of them function quite like the records say the original did. What makes this so amazing is that it was reportedly able to detect quakes hundreds of miles away without modern sensors. For something built nearly 2,000 years ago, that's insane.
So what they saying is that little shit with the dragon dropped a ball out of his mouth. It don't even have to be an earthquake around you. It can be in another city, and that shit still gonna tell you where the earthquake happened. Right, so California need those.
The Lycurgus cup is this glass goblet from the 4th century
California
that looks green when you shine light in front of it, but stick a light
the areas around
California
need that shit.
Why? Because it's loaded with tiny gold and silver particles. So tiny, they're measured in nanometers, roughly 1,000 times smaller than a grain of salt. The gold makes it glow red when the light passes through, and the silver reflects green when light bounces off it. That's how the colors flip depending on where the light's coming from. Scientists finally figured this out about 60 years ago. They used electron microscopes to spot the microscopic metal blobs in the glass. People have tried to recreate this. There's some experimental 3D printed stuff going on, but we still don't know exactly how the Romans nailed it so perfectly all those years ago. Somehow ancient glass makers made this thing, maybe without knowing any of the science behind it. There's a theory that they accidentally created this thing, which would be pretty interesting.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, it's probably a lot of shit like that, that they was just trying and it worked. And now we since we know science a lot more than we did way back in the day, it's like things we finding out about the shit that they built, but they ain't know nothing about it. They just was building the shit, and now it's being found out.
Everyone knows a Stradivarius violin sounds amazing, but even today, no one can fully explain why. Antonio Stradivari built these legendary instruments in Italy during the late 1600s and early 1700s. About 650 are still around. Each are worth millions. Scientists have studied the wood.
That shit right there is worth $1 million? Nigga, what? Sold my green screen, bitch. This fucking anything can be motherfucking sold for anything.
The varnish and the structure.
I don't even know how that's worth $1 million.
The chemical tests. Some think the secret is the density of the wood itself. It grew during a mini ice age.
What's that shit gonna do for you?
When it's cold, and that makes the wood rings tighter and more uniform. That kind of wood vibrates differently. It carries sound better, more evenly across the body of the instrument, which
do it make
of course
you
helps
live
produce
longer?
that clean, warm tone these violins are known
$1 million.
for. The varnish is another mystery. Stradivari
Yeah,
used some kind of mix involving tree resin, oil, maybe even borax to stop bugs. Whatever it was, though, it soaked into the wood just the right amount without killing the sound. People have tried to recreate it, but no one can get it exactly right. Even tiny differences in how thick the varnish was or how long it cured could change the way the violin sounds. So, yeah, modern makers can get close, but something in Stradivari's process, maybe the wood, maybe the varnish, maybe both, is still a mystery. King Tutankhamun's dagger is literally alien. The dagger is made from nickel-rich meteorite iron that was smithed into a razor-sharp blade around 1330 BCE. Scientists confirmed this by analyzing the metal. They found about 11% nickel, way above what's normal, for Earth rock, that is. Now, Egypt was still in the Bronze Age. Iron smelting wasn't a thing yet, so they likely hammered a chunk of meteorite into shape. It's possible they heated it a bit to soften it, but definitely nothing like modern forging. Today, we can analyze it, scan it, and tell you where the meteor came from, but we still don't know exactly how they worked with it, how they shaped it so precisely, and how it came out looking as good as it does. Now for one of the weirdest ones on the list, flexible glass, or vitrum flexile. So a story from the reign of Emperor Tiberius in the 1st century says that an inventor brought Tiberius a bowl made of glass. It wouldn't shatter when it dropped, it just dented. And the guy could also hammer it back into shape. Tiberius asked if anyone else knew how to make it. The inventor said no, it was his secret, so Tiberius had him killed. Why? Well,
Wow. You can't even be original nowadays, bitch. You gonna die for that shit. Like, he didn't have to die just because he made flexible glass, but he did. Like, damn. You be alright, bro.
Supposedly, the emperor didn't want the secret getting out because it might devalue gold and silver. No one's ever found an actual piece, so there's a good chance this is just a myth, but some researchers think it might have been real. Still, we've never found archaeological proof of this. The only evidence is in stories. But if it was real,
so we ain't never seen this shit? You lying, bitch.
It would mean that Roman glassmakers invented shock-proof glass centuries before it was a thing. And we may never know exactly how. Alright, this one's
saying they was just trying shit and it worked.
Wanted to invent
it was just trying shit, made flexible glass, and now we know how to actually make that shit. He started
talking publicly about something he called the Teleforce device, later nicknamed
if it's being made for, I don't know how to make that shit, but somebody do.
Energy through a beam of particles so powerful.
Somebody know how to make flexible glass right now. Yo, hey, bro, stay in the house. Whoever know how to make flexible glass, stay in the house. You might die, bro. They gonna come get your ass. I'm telling you.
It could bring down
Tiberius was not playing when he seen that flexible glass, bro.
He claimed he could stop an entire fleet of enemy aircraft at 250 miles, and that countries
he claimed he could do what?
Armies or play end all wars. Tesla basically, and we may never know exactly how. All right, this one's wild. Tesla basically wanted to invent a peace weapon that would end all wars. Around 1934, he started talking publicly about something he called the Teleforce device, later nicknamed the Death Ray. The idea was pump super high energy through a beam of particles so powerful it could bring down armies or planes from hundreds of miles away. He claimed it could stop an entire fleet of enemy aircraft at 250 miles, and that countries with it would be virtually untouchable. He tried to get funding from the US, Britain, even offered it to the League of Nations. The Soviets apparently kicked in $25,000, but nobody ever saw a functioning model. After Tesla died, a bunch of his papers went missing, so there's a chance there was blueprints of this that had just been lost forever or hidden away somewhere. All that said, though, I've been your host, James, and I'll catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next video.
Shout out James, man. Oh, this eerie ass music. I thought it was gonna be a tough beat. Yeah, nah. Shout out James, man. That was class today. You feel me? Quick class. Nothing long. We not in class for a long time. I don't even get paid enough. You feel me? That shit dead. You feel me? We in and out. You feel me? But we gonna learn though. We definitely gonna learn. Before, I don't know if flexible glass is able to be made right now, but Tiberius knew a nigga, killed his ass. You feel me? Other than that though, I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay away from any nigga named Tiberius, cause they don't want what's best for you. They want what you have, you know. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Make sure y'all drinking water, eating good, working out, trying to better your life. You feel me? J10 is out of here.